fantasy champion. Wow, you did it. After a decade and a half. Talk about the feelings you have.
Euphoria. It feels good to finally win one. I've been in this league since high school, and I just feel like it's just been a whirlwind of a day, and it feels so amazing. It feels amazing to actually finally win one, and just to go down in the lore of fantasy doucheball history. It feels really good.
How do you feel? How did you feel going into the weekend of the finals?
Scott was favored. He was favored by 2 points going into it. So I felt a little nervous. He actually gave me a call the Monday before we matched up, just, trying to get in my head. But I stuck true to what I do. But, yeah, I mean, it was definitely nerve-wracking because you want to come out a winner. So
When you got past the top 1 o'clock window and Amanda and Patrick kept giving you updates, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were pissed. I was fucking pissed. And I was fucking pissed because I told them specifically not to give me updates. I walk into Amanda's room. I'm playing Shadow of War, and I'm trying to get my mind off this shit. And fucking Amanda goes, there's a player of yours not doing so well. What the fuck? And then you got Patrick going like, yeah, Justin Fields went off. Like, oh my God, stop, right? So, I was definitely nervous. So I didn't watch any of the games. So I also flipped on Black Adam. So.
Speaking on that, was Black Adam any good?
No, I turned it off 10 minutes in and went back to Shadow of War. Yeah, next question.
At 6:30, Scott called, said congrats. Walk me through that phone call.
Yeah, he called me at 6:30. I still haven't did one check of my team. I didn't do one check of who was playing, whatever. I totally just ignored football all day. When Scott called, I was like, oh shit. Thinking he was gonna gloat about his victory, but he called to congratulate me, and I said, please don't yet, because I haven't checked it, and I'm not gonna check it. I'm gonna check it at 8 p.m. when our Sunday games end, because that's how I know our matchup's over. So that's when I checked it. So yeah.
You led the league in points scored. So did the 7-7 record taint your win a little bit?
Oh, not at all. I think when you're looking at fantasy football, it's all about who scores the most points, right? And like sometimes you score the most points and don't have a great record. I knew that if I got in the playoffs, I could win this thing. And because I scored the most points, that's how I know it was the most deserved.
Who was the worst fantasy player this year?
Worst fantasy player this year? It's got to be Eric. Eric sucks. Eric is someone who thinks he knows what he's doing. And honestly, just based off of track record, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He had the number 1 overall pick. He had QB1 in fantasy football, Jalen Hurts, and he had A.J. Brown, who was wide receiver 4, and he still finished second to last. And the only reason why he didn't finish last was because the last place guy didn't check his team since week 2. So,
how do you feel about Greg?
Greg sucks. Greg's ass. Greg's victory last year was lucky. So,
which team who didn't win had the most successful season?
Oh, that's a good question. I got 2. The first is I'm going to say the guy I faced in the semifinals. He was Austin. Austin's team was great. He was first place. He finished with the bye. He finished with the regular season title. It sucks that he didn't get his money back in the third place game, but his team was awesome. I'm also going to say Ricky. Ricky didn't draft a single quarterback until the double-digit rounds, and he was able to make the playoffs. He went with a bold strategy in a 2 QB league, and it worked out for him.
Who had the most disappointing season?
Most disappointing season? Kyle. He talks a lot of shit, and he deserves what he got. He talks a lot of shit for a guy who thinks he's going to win the league every year, and he didn't. So,
how do you feel the league ran this year?
League was great. Kyle, speaking on Kyle, he's a great commissioner. I mean, he's a horseshit fantasy player, but he is a terrific commissioner.
How did you celebrate the win?
I banged my wife. That's how I celebrated the win. I banged her good, so felt good. I forced it upon her. She didn't like it. She said she was going to go to sleep and do what you got to do. Don't wake her up, and I was able to do that. So,
Where do we go from here?
hopefully, next year we go in and we get the repeat. Obviously, I'm going to spend some money on a trophy. I just haven't picked out the right one yet, but I'm hoping that I get the repeat next year.
Last question over here.
Yes,
Hi.
sir.
Al Rocks from the Tin Hatter.
Oh, Tin Hatter. Yeah, I love that paper.
So walk me through what you were feeling when you realized the potential legendary status of Gulpin.
The Pokemon Gulpin's elite. Gulpin's the best Pokemon. He clearly knows his stuff. If you catch him, you're gonna go far. He won me my Elite Four battle, and that's why I'm a champion. So yeah. Do we have any more questions?
Okay, no further questions. This press conference is over.
Okay, great.
Thank you for your time.
I'm gonna go celebrate.